All right, moving to question 126. Company ABC starts an educational program in collaboration with Institute XYZ. Okay, two parties collaborating. As per the agreement, ABC and XYZ will share profit in 60 is to 40 ratio. Fine. The initial investment of rupees 1 lakh on infrastructure is borne entirely by ABC. Okay, it's a joint venture of sorts, collaboration. Whereas the running cost of rupees 400 per student. Okay, there's some variable cost over here, right? So clearly, this is the fixed cost, 1 lakh, and variable cost over here is 400 per student. Is borne by XYZ. Fine. If each student pays rupees 2000 for the program, find the number of minimum number of students required to make the program profitable, assuming ABC wants to recover its investment in the very first year and the program has no seat limits, right? How many ever they can have. We need to find the minimum number to make it profitable, right? You have to go to the profit zone. Whether it's 60% or 40% doesn't really matter, right? How they're going to split it doesn't matter. The program has to be profitable, which means variable costs and the fixed costs have to be covered, right? Look at it in very simple logical terms. Don't get into big formula application, right? So for 2000 rupees, every time a student pays 2000 rupees, right, the variable cost has to be first covered, right? So this is the revenue over here, and 400 over here is the variable cost, revenue per student, right? So if you subtract these two, you get something called variable margin. We've explained this in the profit and loss lesson. So for every 2000 rupees paid, 400 is paid off for variable cost, 1600 is remaining as variable margin. How many such 1600 rupees are required to cover my fixed cost also? So break even volume equals my fixed cost divided by variable margin. So look at it logically, right? So 1 lakh has to be covered by 1600 rupees because 400 of variable cost is gone, remaining 1600 rupees. How many of these are going to cover this variable cost? How many students do I need? 1000 by 16, right? Divide by 8, both of them, you get 125 by 2, which comes to 62.5. 62.5 students are required for a no profit, no loss scenario. Of course, you can't have a fraction. Little more than this is enough to make it profitable. What is the smallest value more than 62.5? It's option 1, 63. And that's the answer for this question. On to question number 127. A shop which sold same marked price shirts announced an offer. If one buys 3 shirts, the fourth shirt is sold at a discounted price of rupees 100 only. Note that it is not a discount provided. The final price itself is rupees 100 for this shirt, right? If you read it fast, you might think that a discount of 100 is provided on the fourth shirt. It's not that. The final price after the discount is rupees 100 only. Patel took the offer. He left the shop with 20 shirts. Okay, let's first understand as to, how to write this down. If you're going to be paying for how many shirts? 3 shirts. You're getting a discounted, right? At rupees 100 rupees only. How many shirts? You're getting 1 shirt. And total, how many shirts are you walking away with? You're walking away with 4 shirts. You're paying full price. Let's call it mark price of X or something like that, which is what you have to find, the mark price X. If you're paying X rupees for these 3 shirts, you're getting 1 shirt at 100 only. You're walking away with 4 shirts. Now, Patel over here walked away with 20 shirts, right? 20 shirts. And what was the pattern for these 20 shirts? It should have been split in the ratio of 3:1. In the sense, if 4 were there, 3 were paid for, 1 discounted. If 20 are there, into 5, right? 4 into 5 is 20. Just multiply each of them with 5 and you'll get, if 15 shirts were paid for, 5 were at a discounted price of 100, a total of 20 shirts Patel got, right? So simple part over here is, the total is given as 20,000, the amount paid, okay? And I know that 5 shirts were got at 100 rupees each for 500 rupees. These 15 shirts, Patel ended up paying X rupees per shirt. So 15x equals, take that there and you get 19500. You can divide a 15 over here. 15 13s are 195, right? So X over here is nothing but 1300. That's the mark price of a shirt. Option 2 is the answer here. On to question number 128. The price of a product is P. A shopkeeper raises its price by X% and then offers a discount of Y% on the raised price. The discounted price again becomes P. If Y is the difference between X and Y, then find X. Now, this entire question has only variables. The answer options, there are clear numbers given over here. You should look to substitute. Don't try to use variables and make your life painful over here. When options are given with values, look to substitute values, but bring it to a reasonable shape first, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's say the price of a product over here is 100 rupees, right? Let's say 100 over here. You are increasing by how much percentage? X percent. And then you are giving a discount of Y percent. The Also what we're told is the difference between X and Y is Y. Y is the difference between X and Y. Y equals X minus Y, which means X over here is going to be 2Y. Now some of you will say, why not Y minus X, right? Always the percentage by which you're going to be increasing is going to be higher than what you will reduce by to bring it back to the same value, right? You would have seen this in the percentages lesson, the profit and loss lesson. You can try it out as well. If I increase by 20% and decrease by 20%, there is a minus 4%. So if I wanted to bring it back to 0% change, the decrease should be slightly smaller, right? Slightly smaller than 20. Increase is going to be more than decrease, right? So remember that. I can't be explaining the entire concept over here. We're just looking into solving them, right? So remember, y equals x minus y, 2y equals x. Just note it down. If the increase is going to be x, or rather 2y%, the decrease is going to be y%. Now, the question asked over here is, which of these could be x? If my x is going to be, just take the largest value and work backwards. The rest seem to be quite small. If it's going to be 100, right? If this is going to be an increase of 100%, then the decrease is going to be of 50%, right? Half of that. So if 100 increases by 100, it's getting doubled. 100 is getting doubled. Now if I have to reduce it by 50%, 200 has to be halved. If I'm reducing by 50%, I'm halving it. It is coming back to 100 where we started from. So this is the P, which remains as P. 2y over here, or x, is going to be therefore 100. Option 4 is the answer. If at all the previous question was a little confusing, you'll realize that it's going to become a lot more easy with this particular question, right? 129. An article is marked X% above the cost price. A discount of 2/3 of X% is given on the mark price. If the profit is 4% after marking it up by X and discount of 2/3 of X%, then the value of X lies between 25 and 50. Then the value of 50% of X is what? If 50% of X is going to be these, then X itself is going to be what? Double of this. This is these are options are half of X. Then double of X, X can be 40 here, in this case 30 here, 26, 32 and 24. Now I want to substitute these and try them out. Now two values over here, only two values are of immediate interest for me. They are 24 and 30. Now why is that so? If these are going to be X%, finding 2/3 of these is going to be easy. It's an integer. Because I want it to be divisible by 3, only two values over here are divisible by 3. Now between 24 and 30, 30 is a nice round number. It's a multiple of 10 for me to work with. So that will be my starting point to substitute. So let my cost price over here be 100 rupees. I have to first increase by how much? X%. Now in this case, if it's going to be increased by 30%, 100 goes up by 30, it becomes 130 rupees. Then I have to reduce it by 2/3 of X%. That's the discount. 2/3 of 30. How much is 2/3 of 30? Shouldn't be spending time with stuff like these. You should be able to directly do it, right? It comes to 20. 2/3 of 30 is 20. So if I reduce this by 20%, right? If it's 30, this is going to be 20, 2/3 of that. Then what is 20% of 130? 20% of 130 is nothing but 26 rupees minus 26, which comes to 104. Is this resulting in a 4% profit? If my cost price is 100 and selling price is 104, yes, my profit is how much? 4 rupees, or in this case 4%. It works out fine. So therefore option 4 is my answer here, right? This question, I mean these kind of questions with options, remember your starting point is important. There should be a I mean, logically understand that you would want to work with simple numbers first and eliminate them. If it doesn't work out, in that process, you will realize that, hey, the simplest number is what works out to be true, right? So option 4 is the answer here. Sheila purchases two varieties of apples, A and B, for a total of rupees 2800. The weights in kg of A and B purchased by Sheila are in the ratio 5:8. Now, total cost paid is this, ratio of weights is this. The cost per kg of A is 20% more than that of B. Sheila sells A and B with profits of 15 and 10% respectively. What is the overall profit in rupees? Now, these questions, time and again, I've been saying in my lessons and practice, please avoid using variables, right? If you want to be quick and you want to be accurate without making silly mistakes, please avoid using variables. Ratios is what we can use over here, right? So we have the ratio of weights, we'll call it kg, ratio of kg, right? Ratio of kg is what over here for A and B? It's going to be 5:8. Now, what is the ratio of rupees per kg, right? Rupees per kg, and what is this exactly? What kind of rupees? It's cost per kg, CP per kg, we'll call it, cost price per kg. Now, A over here is 20% more than B. 20% as a fraction is 1/5. A is 1/5 more than B. If B is 5 parts, A over here is 1/5 extra. 1/5 of this is 1. 1 extra is 6. 300 times we have done this, or you have to do this, right? And you will realize that, hey, this is actually very quick. Probably not 300, about 15-20 times, right? Don't give up on this. Write this as a fraction. Whatever is the denominator right over here, 1/5 of that extra 6:5 is the ratio. Some of you would already be doing it pretty quickly, right? Now, what can I do over here? These ratios, if I multiply, kg gets cancelled. I get the ratio of the total cost price over here paid for. So I can multiply over here directly, right? When can I multiply? If this into this is going to be this. You can directly multiply these respective parts. We've seen this in the ratios lesson. 6 into 5 is 30. 8 into 5 is 40. Nothing but 3:4 ratio over here. Now 3:4 ratio, and what am I given over here? I know the total CP over here. Total CP is 2800, right? I'm given that. 3:4 ratio, 3 plus 4, 7 parts over here is 2800. Then 3 parts is what? 7 into what is 2800? 7 into 400. Do the same over here and over here, and you get the individual values of 1200 and 1600. Now we are asked what is the overall profit, and what we are given are the profit percentages which need to be applied on the cost prices. So the profit over here is nothing but 15% of 1200. 0 zeros get cancelled. 15 into 12 is 180. Knowing the tables will be helpful. 10% of 1600 is 160, easier. 340 rupees is it. It is. Option 4 is the answer here. Guys, if you like this video, do hit the like button and do subscribe to this channel in case you haven't already. And do visit mockcat.com and get access to a lot of free resources. Take up the daily quizzes which are free every single day. Take up the free mock test. If you want to reach out to us, you can just call us up and let us know, and we'll look to connect with you as well, right? So you all the best. Continue watching the series.